Welcome back to Project 613. We started learning yesterday that when a person grants a gift to another individual, then he would have to make a kinyan, a formal mode of acquisition, in order to transfer the property from that of the one granting the gift to that of the recipient. And as we learned previously, the various modes of acquisition, whether we're talking about movable objects or real property, the same modes of acquisition would apply to a person granting a gift. That, depending on what the gift is, that's the mode of acquisition that would have to take place as well in order to affect the transfer of property. However, there is one major exception to the rule when it comes to gifts, and that is the gift of someone on the deathbed. When someone is on the deathbed, our sages considered the physical state of being of the individual and understood that this person realistically is not able physically to make these various modes of acquisition, and therefore they waived many of the rules that would usually take place in terms of transferring a gift from the one granting the gift to that of the recipient. And Maimonides has a number of chapters going through the details of this, but here are three of the major ideas behind it. Number one, usually any transaction would have to have witnesses which would be appointed to be witnesses. But when it comes to someone on a deathbed, the person granting his property to another individual doesn't have to appoint witnesses. Rather, those who are around the bed by default become the witnesses of the transaction. Number two, the property or the objects that are given as a gift only become the property of the recipient at the moment of death, not a moment before. Thirdly, in the event that someone on their deathbed gifted all of their property, all of their belongings to another individual, and then miraculously they recovered, in such a situation, we would say that those gifts are considered null and void and all of his property goes back to him. Why? The answer is because we all understand that the only reason why he made such a gift is because he was under the correct assumption that he would not make it. And it was only with this in mind that he granted this gift. And therefore, because miraculously he healed and he became well, so he shouldn't lose out because of that, since the whole gift was only given under the assumption that he would no longer be there to benefit from his own property. This therefore tells us that in the event that someone on their deathbed only gave part of their property as a gift but retained some for themselves, in such a situation we would say, and if in such a situation then he recovers, in that situation we would say, well, that which was given remains a gift, and that which was kept for himself, only that would be his, because then we say that at the time of the giving of the gift, the person themselves had a thought that perhaps they would become well again. Perhaps they would recover. And because of that, the gift that they gave was with the knowledge that this would be given away regardless. Proof is that they kept something for themselves. However, as we said previously, in the scenario that they gave everything away, here we can assume that they only did so because they thought they would not make a recovery. And therefore, in the event that miraculously they did recover, we would say that the gift is considered null and void and the property goes back to the individual who granted it. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.